Hello and welcome to this week's Christmas episode of the Cool Kids Lunch Table Podcast with PJ and Mike. I'm PJ.
And I'm Mike.
Today we have some returning guests to help us bring in the holiday season. We have our most frequent guest. Uncle Rob is here. You know Uncle Rob from Back to the Future episode, our Guilty Song episode. He was with us for last Christmas and he's back again. What's going on, Uncle Rob?
Thanks, guys, for having me on.
Uncle Rob, yay!
Cool Kids headquarters.
Cool Kids headquarters today.
Yeah.
And also another returning guest.
Oh, yeah.
You know him from our Godzilla -1 review and our Best Retro Toys episode. Handsome Alex is back.
Woo!
Hey, everyone. Thanhave me back.
Thanks for coming on, Handsome. Happy to have you. So, yeah, we're going to kick off the holidays. So, a quick rundown of what you get in for this episode. We have all had some interesting career choices through the holidays. And we're going to talk a little bit about how working on Black Friday was, working during the Christmas season. We have worked in retail establishments.
Exactly. This will be a lot of retail stuff, maybe some office work or just anything in the service industry.
We have had people who worked in, Alex was with 10 bar and work in restaurants and things like that during holidays. Uncle Rob has probably the hardest job of all of us during the Christmas season back in his Toys R Us days.
Oh, yeah. Oh, a lot
and,
of fun.
And we have bakery experience during the holidays.
Yeah.
We have a lot.
We have a lot to cover, folks.
Yeah. And then at the end of this episode is the secret mystery surprise that we will talk about when we get to it. But just real quick, I guess we'll call it a holiday memory, a holiday childhood memory. What was the first job you had during the holiday season?
Mine was Kmart. And I'll get into those stories shortly. Just remember, that was my first real job, on the books.
Okay.
It was one of my favorite jobs, and I really miss Kmart. I worked for the big Kmart, which is a little bit bigger.
Oh, that's right. We did have a big Kmart, didn't we?
So
we did have a big K.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I worked for Toys R Us, as you heard.
Yeah.
I just knew growing up I could not work with food. So I want to hear your stories, Alex, if anyone worked with food. I respect it. I just couldn't do it. I don't like the confined space of working in a fast food place, the flipping the burgers. I respect anyone who's done it, but I need the working space, stocking shelves. That's kind of more like my style. I don't need everyone kind of too cramped up on top of each other. I like the space of a nice department store or toy store like Toys R Us. Plus, I love toys at the time, so I thought it was the shit, to work there. So when I got the job during the seasonal time,
that's the closest to working in Santa's workshop. You know what I mean? Working in a toy store.
Plus with food, if it was an Italian place, I didn't want to ruin my love for pizza.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or even if I walk into a Starbucks and I walk out smell like a latte.
Oh, yeah.
It annoys me.
Yes.
So, with toys.
Yes.
But eventually the love fades because now you're working in Toys R Us, so now it doesn't have that same magic.
Right.
But I'll get into that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My first Christmas or anything that experience was Wall Bombs, a supermarket.
Oh, yeah.
It was my first job when I was 16, and it was always last minute shoppers who needed to get the last minute ingredients for Christmas stuff, and it was always really hectic, and I would kind of bounce back and forth between working the register and helping out with stock and stuff like that. So that was my first experience dealing with the craziness of the holidays on the day of. Black Friday was usually pretty not as crazy, but Christmas Day itself was always really busy with last minute shoppers.
Mm-hmm. And then I was on the cusp of two different jobs because I had one at the Party Giant. Was it the Party Giant? Yeah, it was the Party Giant.
All right.
Next to Ground Round, R.I.P. Ground Round, and then they kind of were bleeding money and running out of money fast, and they just started getting rid of everybody. Mm-hmm. And then I wound up working at Target during the real holiday season. And I was hired as holiday help in the Christmas department, with where the Christmas trees are and all that kind of stuff. And then that was
my seasonal.
Seasonal. I was seasonal
temporary
help. But
that's what that means.
But they kept me.
Cut, bro.
Yeah. They kept me because I was so good at being a Target team member that they were we just can't get rid of him. But that was my first holiday job was Target.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So, folks, we're actually going to start off in terms of stories. We put the category as just working on a Black Friday, maybe even shopping on a Black Friday. And look, I think we all can agree that Black Fridays are different now from the early 2090s.
Yeah.
That was I call it the Pearl Harbor of retail. But we'll start with Alex. Any Black Friday stories that you can recall you want to share?
Well, working Black Friday was different depending on where I was working because tending the bar would be a more or less of a dead day depending on the shift.
Right.
You got like that dinner rush because everyone would like take a break from shopping, but for the most part, people were out shopping. They weren't out, getting drinks and stuff like that. So like it would be a little quieter with that. I worked at Home Depot where it was a lot crazier during Black Friday.
Wow.
Where I worked in
Really?
paint department, but people weren't.
What are people buying lumber, or are they just buying last?
No,
Yeah, what are they buying on Black Friday?
They always have sales on like tools and stuff like that.
yeah,
The
that's
gardening
true.
department, because
First drill and everything.
I believe at that time
yeah.
they brought in the Christmas trees, so they would
Yes.
pull people from other departments. I worked in paint, and of course, like no one's buying paint on Black Friday, so I was loading. We would get the loads of Christmas trees, and it would be back. It's not as cold during that time now, but back then, November could be really cold. And I remember just bundling up and unloading and loading Christmas trees all day during the shift. But it was kind of cool because I had friends in other departments who were all in one department, doing stuff like that. So it would always be, as far as like, I was always anti-shopping on Black Friday, but where I lived further out east, the Riverhead Outlets, we would go there, and I would never really buy something, but at least it was like out in the open, so you weren't like crowded in one little specific area. So that became like a thing we did for a couple of years, and if I saw a pair of pants or something on sale, I'd grab them. But it was always like I waiting in those lines, and I actually one time did wait in line with my friend at Best Buy to get a TV. I think when like flat screens and plasmas were first out. And we were sitting there in Best Buy and we waited for this TV. It was for him. And they sold out like 2 people ahead of him to get the TV. Yeah. But that was...
Of course.
I just remember sitting there thinking like, this is awful. But,
It seems it's like common that like on Black Fridays you actually shop for yourself. It's not even, for others.
What do I need?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that, and even like the Super Bowl now is like that too,
Oh
But
yeah.
I need a new TV. Let's wait for Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go out on Black Friday and do some shopping, mostly like you said for myself. But the one thing I loved was and I know it makes me sound like such a dick, but I loved when they opened up shopping on Thanksgiving night.
Really?
Which sucks for the employees.
Right.
I mean,
Totally sucks. Like, sorry you guys had to work during it if you did, but I liked after eating dinner, you'd have your dessert, and you're like, that's it. I got nothing else to do tonight, and it's 7 o'clock? And 10 o'clock, they're going to open up all these stores. I would go Thanksgiving night and do all my shopping on Thanksgiving night. I loved it. The stores were not as packed because most people don't want to go out on Thanksgiving night. You have people traveling. So they would open up for really what felt like no reason. You would get the doorbusters. You would get the good sales. You'd get the satisfaction of seeing how miserable all the employees were, that they had to work. And, misery loves company. And I like to watch other people be miserable so that I don't feel alone in my misery.
There you go.
And I would go out every Thanksgiving night for years until they cut that. They stopped it around the pandemic.
Yeah.
And they never brought it back. Working on Black Friday in Target was a shit show. 'Cause Target has everything.
Yeah.
So it's not like, all right, the toy stores get busy because it's got the toys, but Target had everything. And when you're seasonal help, they throw you in those busy departments. It's like you walk out of the store at the end of the night and it's like you wearing like a necklace of ears. You feel like you just went through Nam. You were just like, your clothes are ripped. It was busy. It was rough. There was like, zone the aisles, make them look acceptable. I'm like, with what? There's nothing here.
Yeah.
It was not easy to work retail during those years.
There was actually a time, it was a few years back or whatever. I was it was before pandemic, but I was looking just for part-time work, maybe just get some extra money, so I was saving up for something. And I was like, oh, Target's hiring during the holidays. Let me just see if they have like a night shift or whatever. And not even thinking, I was like, oh, I need this day off because my buddy was getting married. I was in the wedding party and all this stuff. And I didn't put 2 to 2 together. As I'm leaving the interview, which I thought went really well, I'm walking out. I'm like, my buddy's getting married on Black Friday, and I just told Target that I can't work on Black Friday. They are not going to call me back.
Yeah.
And they never called me back. I'm like, oh, I didn't even, like, I just didn't, at the time during the interview, didn't put 2 to 2 together that
man.
the day he was getting married was Black Friday.
Damn.
Yeah.
Were you cut? right away? Or?
No, they never called me back. That was it. Yeah. No longer interested.
That, Jesus Christ. No, for me, honestly, I can't step foot in a store in general. I don't like shopping even for groceries. I'm like the worst, man. I'll let it run real low. But clothing, shopping, nothing. I don't want to be near it. Black Friday, forget about it. I wouldn't step foot. I don't know how PJ, I give you a lot of credit, but I cannot even think about going in the store. All the crowds,
PJ
all
likes
the people.
pain.
do.
Yeah.
Right.
Pain for pleasure. Okay.
I'll get it like a few days later or something like that. Hope for the best. I don't know. But I mean, obviously, Toys R Us was the mecca. You know,
absolutely.
This is going back to like '98 when I started, and I was seasonal too, and I got hired like on the spot during Christmas time. Yeah.
98 feels so.
I know.
Just that number.
Myself right now.
Right. Yeah.
But those were good years though.
Oh, no question.
They had all the good toys. That was when the toys were still good.
Yeah, and Target really, it was a thing then, but I don't think it was as big.
It was
Target helped put us out of business actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Walmart, Target, they started getting more and more toys, and Toys R Us became kind of like an afterthought at some point. But they were loaded. Everyone would go there, for their shopping list. So it was one of the Black Fridays. I didn't work there 4 years, but I think I only worked one Black Friday, believe it or not. I don't know how I did that. Yeah. But this was when the Furbies were really big, like super big. Yeah. So, we're coming off of Thanksgiving, it's Black Friday. I'm there early. Everyone's like at their post. But this is like that time when you heard about those people getting like,
my God.
stampeded.
It's like a compound, right?
No, that's how it felt like.
Right,
You know what I mean?
It's like that
I'm
South Park
standing with my
episode.
Nerf gun behind the glass. I was waiting for these people to enter. You know what I mean? So like, there's a line forming outside. Remember the one in Levittown? You have those big windows.
Yeah.
So like, you see everyone outside, and what's funny about Christmas time, especially shopping and Black Friday, everyone's like mood. Like you see people outside with their coffees. Some people just look pissed. Some people don't want to be there. And like, it reminded me of like. Kind of like The Walking Dead. Like, people just outside, and they're like looking through the window, like they can't wait to get inside, and like they're just pissed. And even like going to a store myself when a store did open. I remember going to Best Buy one time, and they had to wait till 10 on the dot to open it.
Yes.
Every store have to do that. So like, it was like 80. They were waiting, but they were like, they couldn't wait.
You know what I hated about that Toys R Us?
Yeah. Oh no! Come on.
There was one thing. I love Toys R Us. I wish they'd all come back, but there was one thing I hated about Toys R Us, and it was the way they sold the video games.
Yeah.
You used to have to get like this little like
the ticket.
The ticket.
Yeah.
You got to go to a counter. You got to wait for them to bring the counter. You can't go anywhere else in the store with the video game. So like then you're done. You're confined to the video game section. You have to go back out to your car, drop the game off. I did not let there was no better way, Uncle Rob.
You know what it was? I think theft, obviously. You know what I mean? They wanted to keep it contained. I mean,
yes.
Maybe that's why they went out of business, PJ. I don't know.
Maybe it was because everyone was going to Best Buy. They were like, it's so much easier to buy a video game in Circuit City than it is to buy a video game in Toys R Us.
In aisles. They did, and then you could try a system out. Yeah. And then they put it all in that one section in the front. What was going on. But yeah, I know what you mean.
I think a lot of the Toys R Us were like that. The games were like they sectioned them.
Yeah.
Like this little, little like corral or something like that where they were. You had to go into the area.
That section was called.
The game zone or some shit.
Something like that.
R zone.
It might have been.
The R zone. I think it was.
How do you know it? I don't even know that.
Anyway, Toys R Us kid. So
now everyone's at their post, and it's really just to have like, I guess like security, whatever you want to call it. We're wearing our blue vests, like with a Jeffrey pin. Like I'm gonna stop like this mom coming through with its father getting ready to buy like a Power Ranger or some shit like that. So again, the Furbies were really huge. So we had like this display, and we knew they were coming in. For the Furbies. And the parents and the families are coming in for the Furbies. So, like, just like you've seen, they're just coming in quick. And, like, really, the employees are just moving out of the way. I just see a couple of moms just coming for this stack of Furbies, like a mountain-looking display or whatever. And they're both kind of going for the same one. And I just see this mom slap this mom right across the face. And I was just like, holy. It's like, what you hear is real. That was my first experience with that kind of. So I'm like, quick, someone get an employee. Did anyone else see that? But I just never forgot that. And like, they went at it a little bit. No, they didn't even get thrown out, or they kind of like were okay after that. But that hit was pretty nice. And one walked out with that Furby they wanted, one didn't. But after
one walked out with a handprint across their face.
And
one got a Furby.
I remember
that was definitely interesting.
I remember when what was it? When the Wii came out.
Right.
So like the Wii, I think it was PS3 and whatever the Xbox 360 or whatever the Xbox was at the time. I think that was the PS3, whatever it was all coming out around the same time. Might have been PS4. Anyway, they so where I worked at in Home Depot, there was a Target and a Best Buy all in the same shopping center. Yeah. So everyone, so when I worked Black Friday at Home Depot, but everyone already, by the time my shift started, everyone already like ransacked those stores, and it was just, so when you go into the parking lot, there was people literally sitting there selling their Wii's that they just all took from Best Buy and stuff.
Yeah.
But instead of 200, they were ranked
Like
like
600.
500.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and stuff like that. And I remember now it's all done online, but like I remember like driving into the parking lot and you'd have to like drive around because now cars are stopping. They're trying to, haggle the price, and I'm like going around them to get to work. But yeah, I remember as he was talking about his story, I'm like, oh my God, I remember that craziness of,
Yeah. I know for, I have a couple of it's really Black Friday and Black Friday weekend stories. This all happened at Kmart. So I remember I actually had to work 6:30 a.m. on a Black Friday. And like, no, I always hate when retail, we have those like upfront meetings. They call everyone up by the registers.
Yeah.
Oh, I just remember like, we actually had we had the store manager whose name was Mr. Greeny. I don't know what his first name
Greeny?
was. Mr. Greeny, right? And then there was another manager. He was like second in command.
Mr. Pinker.
His name was Rudy. We used to call him an android because like he seemed just very like non-human, like. But they used to actually, for some reason, he really wanted to be the store manager. They used to scream each other like in the back room, like I don't know, like some kind of politics. But anyway, I just remember that meeting where there was another manager named Bob Baker. He passed away, but he looked like the guy like in the oatmeal box, or like the guy from Cinnamon Toast Crunch. He kind of
Like
looked
the
like that
Quaker guy?
Yeah.
That's like
But,
motivating too. Like,
yeah.
to have a boss like
Right,
that.
but he was like, guys, all hell's gonna break loose.
Oh.
And like, it's crazy because like a year later, Mike came up with clothes. So, but anyway, it was like pandemonium. But anyway, the story is, I had a good friend in there named Mike. I worked in housewares and he worked in pantry, right? So we both got there 6:30 a.m. Blah blah blah. We always like did carryouts together, all that crap. So I remember we ended up getting split up. We had to like no, like you're like war buddy, So anyway, we work 7 to 3, right? So we finally meet up with each other again, like throughout the day, like 2:50, and we're like in the middle of like the aisles.
Yeah.
We're like, yo, his name was Mike too. So like he and I were both jumping up and down, going like, oh man, yo, we survived the day, man. Thank God for getting out of here. Mr. Greeny saw us. God mad that we were celebrating, and then he made us go downstairs and bring up more wrapping paper. So yeah, we left at like 3:10.
Mr. Greeny?
Yeah, I'm like, what the? And Mike and I were good workers too.
He's a real Scrooge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is still the weekend, but and we're used to like, I guess they still do this, but like you would actually answer the phones. You know what I mean? Like and pick up like, hi, like housewares.
Yeah.
So like, used to always be a woman up front. She was a nice lady. I can't remember her name, but she had like a very robotic voice, But she just go like, Mike, pick up the call line 1, Mike, line 1. Like very like, she was like Siri before Siri came out. Maybe she did the voice, but anyway, I remember this woman was talking about like Dutch ovens, and I didn't even know what that was at the time. Like, oh yeah, we have.
We can tell you what that.
That's a whole different episode.
Yeah. And she was asking about microwaves, right, and all this stuff. She's like, can you hold it for me? I was like, yeah, like I'll hold you a microwave. It's not like they're like a hot selling item. She goes, she's like a very nice woman, and I remember her saying like, she goes, the reason I'm asking you to hold it, I'm actually like legally blind. I have very, very poor eyesight. I'm like, oh wow, I'm very sorry, man. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, well, I'm not going to be here tomorrow morning. But I'm like, my manager's going to be here. And she's like, well, what's your manager's name? And I'm like, oh, her name's Iris.
Oh.
I just thought that was funny because
Yeah.
I remember just her go like, oh, like, I felt bad.
Oh my God. Of all the names.
Yeah. And then this also happened like during like the same weekend with Rudy, the Android guy. He liked me a lot, but like he was like I was like almost like his personal slave. Like it's like I wasn't even a janitor there, but if someone like threw up, someone spilled like like a can of Coke, he would like call me to do it, And
did you have to use that? It was like that powder shit. Every time something spills,
Yeah.
You got to put the powder on it.
The
and
magic
it'll
dust.
absorb it.
Yeah. So I just remember this one day, like I was one of those nerds. Like I timed my watch exactly to the punch clock. So if I knew at home, like, oh, I know I can get to work,
In 30 seconds.
Exactly. So anyway,
You could walk there. From
right,
where you were.
right. But the clock up front in the foyer when you first walk in, where they had like a greeter, right? That clock was always 5 minutes slow. But the one downstairs was, the correct time. So I walked in actually on time for work. But Rudy stopped me. He's like, Mike, come over here. I'm like, okay. He's like, see that clock? You're coming in late. But he gave me this whole speech. But I didn't want to tell him that, well, you're actually wrong. So I just took it and, the berating.
Synchronized my control watch.
Right, but he used to scream at us. Like I remember, like he liked me. You couldn't get away with that nowadays. Like he used to scream at like us congregating, like talking. If it was like, he like get back to your department. You know what I mean? Like he was crazy. And lastly, I saw a couple fighting in the parking lot. And this guy spit in his wife's face.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, let me get back in my car and get out of here.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to intervene.
Not get involved in this.
Tensions run high there, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my Black Friday weekend and stories.
Okay.
I was hired for seasonal and holiday help in Target, and like I said, I was in the holiday section really, and toys and holiday were kind of next to each other. So one of the things that was my responsibility was when anyone wanted a tree back in the day. Now, if you go to Target and you want to buy a tree, you can just pick it up and walk out.
Yeah,
with it.
yeah,
It's on the floor. It's like ground level.
pallets and
Yeah.
shit, yeah.
But back then, we put all of the Christmas trees were on the rafters, like in the top of the store or in the back of the store, like in the warehouse, and they would just give you the number tree they wanted. You go and see if they had it. And I remember one year, I was trying to get a Christmas tree for a customer. This was on the sales floor, just on like the overstock. And of course, the tree they wanted was the one on the bottom. And you have like 1,000 trees, and there's only one number 13 tree left, and you're trying to get it out. And your options are, you can take every tree off the shelf, or you can just yank the one on the bottom and hope that play the worst game of Jenga of your life.
Right.
You're standing on the top of a tall ladder. I'm already short, so I can't get the luxury of not having to climb to the top to reach this shit. Everyone else is like, you just go up 3 steps. I'm like, I need to be on the top and my tippy toes. Can you boost the ladder? So I remember one year, this is the first year I worked there, very memorable for me because I fell off the ladder and all of the trees landed on top of me.
There you go.
And the customer had the nerve, the audacity to tell me, if this tree is damaged because you drop it, can I return it? I was like, I'm damaged. I just fell off a ladder, and you're worried about your stupid fucking fake tree? They don't give a shit.
No.
People do not give a shit about you in the store. And then, regular stuff, people always fighting, do you have any of this left? No. How do you know? You didn't look in the back. I know because I scanned the ticket, and it said there's none left. We'll go in the back and look anyway. All we're doing is wasting my time and your time. Your fucking Ninja Turtle's not there, you piece of shit.
Right.
Move on. Yeah. Move on. I don't want to go in the back. What you wind up doing, you don't bother looking. You walk in the back room.
Right. Yeah.
And you wait. You're like, this is about a reasonable amount of time.
You didn't have a phone back then just to look at it.
Right. So you like standing, and then you walk back there, and everyone is doing the same
like
shit.
100.
There's like a bunch of people just like, I got 15 more seconds to make this look legit. Yeah. And then you go back out. I looked. We didn't have it. And that's
like
the
wiping
shit
your forehead, like, oh, I really gave it.
Yeah. You're like, this sounds like a good time to take a shit because I got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I looked real hard. And then you come back. That was after the holiday season was over. Target decided to keep me. They pulled me aside one day, and they were like, we want to talk to you. The holiday season is over.
We loved your work with that Christmas tree.
Yeah. I'm like, we like how you risked your life and limb to get a tree for somebody. I thought for sure I was cut. I'm like, this is when they tell me I don't work here anymore. And they're like, we're going to keep you on staff. I'm like, oh, really? I get to keep working at Target? My dreams have come true. And they said, however, we're going to put you in a different department. I'm like, where are you putting me? They said, we don't think that you're great for the customers. So we're going to just put you in the stock room now. And you're going to work in the back. And I was like,
where no one can see it.
Where no one can see.
What a promotion.
Yeah. Where no other humans have to be subjected to you.
Right.
And I'm like, this is great because I don't want to see these humans anyway. Yeah. But the back room of a store, the stock room of a store, during Black Friday and the holiday season, I actually found to be more hectic than the front of the store where you're actually dealing with the customer. Because now you have people like, they want it, and the person who has to get it is us in the back room. Our back room staff was like 5 people deep.
Yeah.
And then you have an entire store with how many departments?
I hear you. It's the same thing. I worked in the back room.
Yeah, you're like, I can't keep up with the requests. You're running all around like a jerk off trying to get all these shit. And then you got to like, who asked for this? I don't remember who walked me and asked for this. So now you just have shit piling up everywhere. And you don't have time during the holidays to like do it correctly where you like scan the item, scan the shelf. So now when it comes time for inventory, your inventory's all screwed up.
Oh, yeah.
The back room during the holidays for me was like, that was more torture than working on the floor. But that was, I didn't have to deal with the people, but dealing with my coworkers at that point, they're getting yelled at by these heathens during the Christmas season. So now they're yelling at me. I'm like, I'm on your side. Well, I have a red shirt on. You have a red shirt on. Solidarity. Why are you yelling at me? But they were just getting harassed by the customers, and it was that was harder for me than actually being on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear that.
So I'm curious, guys. We're gonna be now. If there's any more Black Fridays, but just any other Christmas stories in your service industry.
Yeah, I got one of them.
Right,
So, kind of like what you guys were talking about before. So, like we said, tensions run high. Working in Toys R Us, though, sometimes customers are rude or just mean, and sometimes they have desperation. I almost feel like I'm Santa, bro. You know what I mean? They're coming to me for this stuff. Like,
you're the toy guy.
I am the guy.
You're the elf, man. Yeah.
So like, people like you said, if you didn't have an item, they'd be like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
Right.
Or like they had that big book. Remember the big book?
Oh yeah.
I love the big book.
And they're showing me like the book of like their son or daughter like circling these things, whatever.
Yeah.
And like how pissed they would be if you didn't have something. Like just came out yesterday. This, why don't you have it? You know what I mean? And anyway, so this one guy comes up to me, and he's like, "Listen, man, I really need a PS2."
Right.
He's like, I know you work here, blah 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 blah. Can you help me out? And what people don't understand is, and I had to learn this too, working in Toys R Us or whatever. My first job. When we say we're getting something on the truck, I know the PS2s. We're not getting like 200. Like I'm not opening up the truck when I was unloading it and like getting like bombarded with these like PS2s falling out of the truck. We might get like 5 or 10. Swear to God, during this time, and the demand was super high. Yeah. So, but I must have told about 450 people.
Right.
We'll probably get one next week. But
Right.
I didn't know. So, anyways, this guy's like kind of got like begging me. He's like kind of hounding me. Nice guy, a dad, whatever. So he's like, "Listen, can you get it for me, and then we'll meet up on another day, and I'll pay you for it." And he's like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna give you a tip and everything, for doing this." Now I'm like, I think 16, 17 when I was working there, So I don't really want to do this, but like I'm like, should I help this guy out? And I'm like, you know what? When his son opens up that, spoiler, you know what I mean?
Right.
Anyone's listening to this, but I'm like, I got to do this. You know what I mean? Now I could probably get in trouble for this too.
Of course.
So this is the first time I'm really sharing this. It's like 100 years later. So I'm like, all right, man, let's do it. Now we don't have cell phones. You know what I mean? I didn't have a beeper. You know what I mean? But so that's like the honor system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now we're getting these PS2s, whatever. And like, say I tell this guy to come in on Saturday, I remember. So I'm like, they're coming in on Saturday. He's like, all right, on Sunday, I'll meet you behind the Wendy's. It's right next door. It's like across the parking lot in Levittown, whatever, like that. I'm like, all right. So he doesn't give me any money. You know what I mean? So like, I'm like, all right, I got this. So he leaves.
So you spotted him essentially.
Yeah.
You spotted him like 200. What is that?
Dude, I think it was like
300 bucks?
I think 300 was for
300
$300
bucks.
Pushing 300 at the time.
Yeah, absolutely, it was 300.
So it's a Saturday, right? So we're working, and they allow the employees, if you wanted to get one, to get one. So I'm like, oh, this is it. This is actually going to work. You know what I mean? So I feel like an ass, though, right now, because, there might have been people at my job who wanted it for their families. And I'm like, you might even ask for one, Mike, at the time, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't even know, but...
Uncle Rob prevented you from getting a PS2 for some random guy that may have covered him in baby oil for all you knew.
Exactly. I don't know, but anyway, so I do it, right? So I buy the thing. I'm putting out $300, you know what I mean? So I get this thing. So now, like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna get robbed.
It's like a drug deal.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say it felt like a drug deal. So Sunday comes and like
this guy's even frosty.
Yeah. Well,
he got the stuff.
So exactly. So like he goes behind the Wendy's. It's always like behind something.
Yeah.
You can't meet me by that flashing light behind that building.
It's
like,
also
like,
really hard to be
you.
behind that Wendy's because it's a freestanding Wendy's. It's all the front of Wendy's.
Right.
Really.
Exactly. And I'm worried about like seeing people that I might know. Like I'm kind of in the vision of like Toys R Us, but not really. You know what I mean? I don't want to see this going on.
Right.
Yeah. So like you said. The day comes and I got the stuff, whatever, and like I'm just waiting. Like he pulls up, so I'm like, and I haven't seen the guy like in a week.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, and I'm pretty good with faces. So he comes out of the car. He's like, oh, you came through, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So he goes to me, I need you to get on your knees. I'm like, all right. So I'm either gonna get robbed while some guy's fucking ordering a classic single and a fucking frosty, or like I'm gonna have to see this guy's PS2 or whatever. So he's like, I'm gonna take the item, I'm gonna go in the car, and I'm gonna go and leave. If you do anything or whatever, like you're gonna get hurt because now he knows where I work. So I give him the PS2, he drives in the car, and leaves and never see the guy again.
Did he give you the money at least?
No.
I never knew that part.
I actually made up the story.
Ah!
No, the whole story is true. How it ended, though, and I almost did shit my pants, though. He did come out of the car, but he had this serious look like I was going to rob him.
Right.
And he did pay me for all of it. He gave me $300, and he gave me $100 tip.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I was about to be like, how did you guys not know about this?
Yeah.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
I thought he did say something because I'm recalling because I knew he told me this in the past. I thought he did say something weird though.
No, he was pretty cool. He just came on like super strong, like.
Right.
You know, I was gonna like not come through with the money, whatever. I had it in the bag and everything. I'm just standing there like, I just wanted my money. Really, at that point, I would have been out even more money, you know. But he gave me $100. He did.
Right.
So he did stick to his word. I don't know if it was gonna be $5, $10, or whatever, but yeah.
$100, pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That was cool. It worked.
Damn.
How about you, Mr. Alex? You got any fun stories from your time in restaurants or things?
Yeah,
holidays?
what was good with bartending, which you kind of don't really get in retail, but you might kind of get it in, at least I can't say as a server, but in the bartending in the service industry, is people tend to be a little bit happier. So during the holiday season, the tips are a little bit heavier. Everyone seems to be a little bit more patient and nicer because they're kind of just like, whether they just went shopping all day, whatever the case may be, or they were just at work and work just had a party, so now they're having the post-Christmas party at the bar and stuff like that. So the last place I worked, we had a lot of regulars, and it helped it was an older crowd, but my regulars would come in, and they, we would a couple of them, we used to have like extra beer glasses in the back that were just taking up space, so we used to separate them and fill them with candy. We'd give them to like our regulars and stuff like that. So
Cool.
It was always like a little more fun during the holidays just because of that, and it got crazy sometimes depending on like if we had Christmas party that day or something like that. But for the most part, the one upside, with retail and people going crazy fighting for toys is everyone's just there to like relax, have a couple of drinks, enjoy the holiday season. So it tends to be a little bit lighter, a little bit better. There was one Christmas where I had to work. So the restaurant itself was closed, but they would always open from 4 to 12. And someone from the kitchen would come in and they do like a buffet, and then they leave, and it's just like you and in an empty bar. And then people would come in, and we had our regulars and stuff like that. But there was one Christmas I was working it. The bar was relatively busy considering it was Christmas night and stuff like that. And this one guy comes in all panicked, and he's like, "Do you sell Johnny Walker Blue?" I'm like, "Yeah, we do." And he's like, "Well, I need a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue." I'm like, I can't sell you a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue.
I'd sell you a shot.
He's like, he goes, and he's like, "Do you have it downstairs?" I'm like, "Honestly, I don't know. Like, I know, but like the last thing I need this guy to know is it's literally just me in this bar, in this whole restaurant. I don't need and I got a bar full of people. I can't be tackling this guy from going into the back room,
Right.
So like I'm like telling him like I don't really know, man. Like and I can't just like sell you a bottle. Like it doesn't work that way. I'd have to sell you per shot, which is going to end up being like 4 times the amount. Johnny Walker Blue itself is expensive. You're going to spend another like $600 on top of that if I have to sell it to you by shot. He's like, "I don't care. Do what you got to do." He's like, "What about?" He goes, "Well, what about that bottle up there?" So the bottle was more than halfway full. But it was like, it had a couple of shots taken out of it. And he's like, this guy spent like an hour convincing me. Oh my God. So he's like, "Well, how much would it be if you sold it to me by shot?" And I told him, and it ended up being like some insane price that he ended up not doing it. But I was like, was
he planning on? Was he going to take this bottle and walk, or did he want a bottle?
I think he was trying to get
as a gift.
Yeah.
He was trying to go somewhere and bring a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue. So he was trying to say like, I can't, I gotta go, blah, blah. I forget whatever crazy excuse he was at the time. But I sat there, I was like, well, so I remember at the time I brought up my phone, like how many shots in a Johnny Walker Blue bottle, and blah, blah.
Oh
and,
my God.
Wow.
And I went in the system and I typed it all in. I told him how much it was. He goes, "No way." I'm like, "That's how I have to sell it. If you're gonna walk away with this bottle," I was like, if they do an inventory and they see that Johnny Walker Blue was gone and there's $200 missing from it, like that's my job. Like no, like I can't. This is how much you would have to pay. And then I had like a regular there too, and he's like, he's laughing because it's like there's no way. And like the guy actually thought about it. I'm like, imagine thinking like you're gonna Johnny Walker Blue bottle. Let's just say it's $300. Like you're about to pay another $400 on top of that. Not even for a full bottle. And he wanted me to take, and not only that, but he wanted me to take a new bottle, because the Johnny Walker Blue, I don't know if you've seen it, they come in like these really nice like blue boxes. So he wanted me to take the blue box and do this whole thing. It was
demanding, huh?
It was out of control. Like it ended up, he ended up leaving, and you could tell he was a little sour about it. But I'm like, for the most part, you don't get into too many of that, but
But he spent an hour with you.
He spent it was probably up
spent
to
that
an hour
looking at it.
Yeah, walk down the street, probably find a liquor store in an hour.
Because I have to like answer. I kind of talk to him, but then I would help out like 3 or 4 bar guests, and I have to go back and talk to him again, then help out like 3 or 4. This guy was so persistent. I was like, the only thing like legally you're allowed to do is wine. I was like, you want to leave with a bottle of wine? I just got to open it, and then you can do whatever you want with it. But you're not walking out of here with a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue unless you pay for the actual price of it per per shot. But outside of that, a lot of it is just really busy, and I think what's good with the restaurant business is, especially the places I worked, is like people usually like you're in the foxhole together. So you get busy, like the servers, and us have a good understanding. We're all kind of, oh, you need help with this, you need help with that, and then at the end of the night, everyone kind of just takes a deep breath and hangs out at the bar afterwards and stuff like that. So that was always like a plus, like working in like a restaurant or something like that. I worked in a catering hall where someone had the nerve to get married. I think it was Christmas Eve.
Someone got married on Christmas.
That's balls.
That is balls.
And it was, Christmas Eve was always like big thing in our family. So like, I'm annoyed that I had to be there. I think everyone's annoyed they had to be there.
The guests at the wedding are annoyed that
I'm
they're
surprised
there.
the catering hall even said like, yo, like unless they were like Jewish or something.
Yeah, what are we doing on Christmas Eve?
Even like
they couldn't have been like they could not have started at a church. I don't think there's a church on this planet that's like, we'll let you get married on Jesus' birthday. That's fine with us.
Come on in.
Yeah.
I remember they extended the party for an hour. So I remember because they did this like special, where I worked used to do this like special cocktail area. So you post dinner cocktail area where they had like the more like the dessert liqueurs and stuff like that. So I went over there and I was serving like the Kahlua with like the chocolate shots and stuff like that. And I'm thinking like, all right, that's done. Let me wrap up, get ready to go home. They're like, oh, they're extending it for an hour. And everyone was just like,
oh my God.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, you can do that.
You could just decide last minute to extend an
Oh,
hour.
Jolly Christmas.
Oh, as long as you pay.
As long as
money talks, that's how it works.
It's also depends, depending on the catering hall, if there's not another party after you, the chances are they can do it. If there's another party after you, they might say, you can't, there's another party after you.
I did not know that.
But yeah, and it was a lot of it was because they had like, it was a bit extravagant, but yeah, and like people, and the thing is like 15 minutes after they did it, like people were just emptying. But like it was like the family and them there were very, like I understand like you want to make the most out of your party and stuff like that, but I mean it's Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
like
really.
And you could tell they were getting upset. They were getting upset at us, and I'm like, we're not the reason why your family's leaving.
So did you work a lot of weddings in general?
When I worked at the catering hall, yeah.
So here's my question for you. For those of you who are listening, I would urge you to check out our YouTube channel for this episode. Handsome Alex is very handsome.
I have to agree.
He's a good-looking gentleman right here. How many of them bridesmaids? The handsome Alex.
Bow chicka wow wow.
How many?
I mean, I'm not gonna say there wasn't any, but like I most of the time I was usually with someone when I was in the catering hall business, and honestly, as much as like you had the opportunities, it was more the holiday parties. New Year's Eve. I remember there was one New Year's Eve where I wasn't even sure I was going to work because the catering hall I was working at was very political, in the sense that like, there's some bartenders there who are like BFFs with the owners, and if they felt like they weren't working the better parties, they basically would go to the owners and tell the managers and be like, Alex worked this party. But like I always feel like I did a little bit above and beyond. Like I got there early, I made sure that the hosts were taken care of, so like I always got a little extra, and I think I just did well. But if they worked a party that technically on paper they should have made more, but they walk upstairs and they saw that I was doing better, like they would tell. So I said I would work Christmas Eve, but in my head I'm like, I'll make that decision. But then I really didn't have any solid plans, and then they called me up like the day before to make sure I was still doing it. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, sure. And that ended up being like probably one of my favorite New Year's Eves. I ended up getting paired with a bartender that I get along with really well, who I originally wasn't supposed to work with, but I forget why the other guy didn't show up. And it was like they used to have, it was like 3 tiers, the building, and the party we were working at started earlier and ended earlier, and it was supposed to be like more of a mix of people where like, each one has a kind of more of a theme to it. And we had a blast. The guests were amazing. I met a girl I ended up dating for like 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, so like that was probably one of, and
all right, Bull drops, pants drop.
Yeah, like it was. That was a really fun and Christmas Eve and I'm sorry, New Year's Eve, and the Halloween the Halloween parties at the catering halls. That was, but I was never single. But I remember there was a new bartender that came in, and they were like, you know, I was like, "Are you single?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right, just get ready, because I don't know what it is about these Halloween parties." And we went dressed as Buzz and Woody. So each bar had a, you know,
like a theme.
Yeah. So like the way the bars was that they were kind of like in the wall, but there was 4. So we worked one, and our theme was Buzz and Woody, and he did well. But yeah.
Woody,
Cool.
popping a Woody. All right.
The laser went off.
Yeah. I guess mine. This is just kind of just ramblings of just work. I worked at BJ's Wholesale Club for like a decade.
Yeah, we did that for a while.
And, yeah, me and PJ were at one point partners in crime. And actually, I started off as seasonal. I got laid off, but I came back, and that's how I ended up in the bakery department.
Yeah, it's a similar thing with me. Yeah.
But it's like one of these, I guess it's just some venting. This is also, I guess, like a little bit of venting about stuff. You know, I guess this is all jobs now, but like, same thing. You have to do those stupid meetings in the morning by like, I want to be like, I always want to raise my hand. I'm like, you know, like, oh, we got to make sure we sell. I'm like, I'm not getting anything out of this. Like, I'm not getting a bonus from this. Like, you guys are benefiting. The company, I'm not like I know it's like a meme now. Oh, we get a pizza party.
Right.
I'm like, can you pay me off? Like, just give me give everyone a day off, like an extra day off, like a PTO day. Like,
also, in that particular store, what were we supposed to sell? It's a grocery store and like wholesale. So you guys really need 47 paper towel? Like, what am I pushing here?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
How many muffins can I sell you?
Man.
Right.
I'm in the fucking bakery. You guys want me to push?
Right.
If no one's having a party today, they don't need a cake. What am I pushing?
Yeah. Right. And it was always that same thing. We used to have like the district managers and the regional managers come in, and it's like always the same story, man. Where they would come in, like it was always the same guy. He had like a name that was perfect. Like, his name was like Breslin, like Aiden Breslin, Jaden, something like kind of name like that. And I always tell this story, but it always we almost said the same thing every time. He'd be like, with the bakery department, people come in, they smell the oven fresh bagels. I'm like, oh my god,
God.
It was like my
frozen ass bagels.
Yeah, that we
threw in a microwave.
Exactly, that we just deep
just throw it out. Yeah.
Oh my god! But I just remember during this time at BJ, because right next to the bakery department was the deli department. And I used to see people fight over like just who's online with their ticket. And like working in the bakery, like people used to order cakes. And like I think it's just must be some kind of like cosmic rule, like whoever you're like, you order the cake, but you send someone who's like completely incompetent to pick up the cake. And like so many times, hey, how are you? I'm here to pick up a cake. Okay, what's the name under? They don't know their name. They don't know their last name. They don't know
what's your son's name?
Exactly. I used to do that. I'd be like, what's your last name? They used to think I was being like a dick. I'd be like, you're not giving me anything. Like, or how many times they send the poor husband over and they'll be like, dude, I would spend like 20 minutes looking for a cake. There'd be hundreds, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And like, they'd be like, it'd be under, they would call their wife eventually. They'd be like, it's under their maiden name. And the husband would be livid. They'd be like, we've been married for 10 years. Like, why is she using her maiden name? You know? I remember one year, this was stupid, but like, nothing was really made from scratch there. Everything came in frozen and then we would bake it. Exactly. Yeah. So I remember somehow we discontinued blueberry muffins. We were getting a different brand. Like instead of Pillsbury, we got like, some other shit brand.
Little Debbie.
right. So I remember like this old battle axe came up to me. She's like, you have any, blueberry muffins? And like, she didn't allow me to finish what happened. I was like, oh, we actually discontinued them, which is an odd statement to say. And she just goes, that doesn't make any sense. I'll never forget that. But
that bakery though, you were good at the writing on the cake and all that stuff. You got good at it.
Yeah, I can write better on a cake than I do in real life.
I was awful at it. Yeah. And there were times I'd be the only person there and they'd be like, "Can you write on this cake?" And I'd be like, I can put something on this cake. Right. Whether or not it reads the way you want, I cannot promise." And what was her name? Maria. Do you remember Maria?
Of course.
Maria was the sweetest lady. She was very helpful. Yeah. One day she's like, she ripped out, she didn't speak the best English, Maria.
Oh yeah.
She pulled out like I don't know if it was wax paper or whatever we used to use, right?
Right.
And she gave me the the piping bag. Yeah. And she's like, just write words until you figure it out.
Right, yeah.
And that's what she made me do for like an entire shift, was just sit there and try and learn how to write. Yeah. I got okay at it for a while. I was able to do it. I didn't get to do any of the real decorating though. Did you ever do any of the real decorating?
I got up to that point. Yeah.
I didn't get to that point.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I just remember I guess we can talk about, if you guys want to, just work parties, office parties. I know we talked about this in the past, but I just feel like there's something about it. Just like I feel like maybe it's just like a nostalgia thing. I just felt it was just everything just seemed like less. Like everything was just less stress, less work. I feel like I used to be excited to go to a work party. Now there's almost a sense of dread. Like I remember, like I used to have to do like a door decorating contest. It's like, I got shit to do. I don't have time to like do fucking paper mache and then rip it down 3 weeks later and people vote on it. I'm like, I one year actually won, but I'm like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like everything just seems like everything's so much. Like everything's like a lot. You know what I mean? I can't explain it. Or like they force you into doing a Secret Santa or a white elephant. I'm like, stop giving me work.
Yeah.
I thought the opposite of a party is work. Yeah. But you're making us work during this party. Stop making me do things.
We never have office parties at our job.
I know I sound so negative.
Yeah,
but
we don't. I've been there for 20 years. We've never really had an office party at our place of work.
Well, I'm in a different department now, but I'm about to have my first office party next week. Yeah.
Good for you.
All right. Are you excited?
Not really, because I'm a little like antisocial, so I'm like, oh, now I gotta go, because it's not just like my specific department, it's that whole like area.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like I don't know a lot of these people, but now I gotta hang out with them for 3 hours.
I mean, as a teacher, really just doing like meeting up at a restaurant now has actually toned down.
Yeah, that's stuff like that seems like.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I get to decorate the office or the room. It's just like, and I don't, like I said, I guess I'm a Scrooge at heart, but I don't know, just like
the Secret Santa's annoying stuff. Like that,
or like taking work photos. I hear I stand against the wall.
Like you're really happy about it, happy to work there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll add something going back to the other topic though for a quick second.
Of course, yeah.
Just in terms of like, how many times I had to hear working in Toys R Us about like, I'm cool and corporate.
Oh yeah.
Like going back to the big book, like in the toys that like we don't have it, I don't understand. Like the sale came out yesterday. Why don't you have it? I'm calling corporate.
Right.
Trying to keep hearing that. I want to be like, listen, I don't have shares in the company.
Right.
I'm 16 years old. You know what I mean? Like,
call him.
I'll make sure Jeffrey the giraffe, finds out. And I want to be like, lady, listen, it's like Friday night. I'm about to like leave here, meet up with friends, jam with my band, and get plastered in the back of some high school. Buy some beers from a bodega that I have, like a fake ID that says I'm 20 years old. Like, this is not, my thing,
Yeah.
But another quick story. It's more like,
of course.
Tell it. So like. Working at Toys R Us, like you were saying, PJ, we called it facing the aisles. Like,
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So people would like ransack. The Star Wars was big at that time. Starting lineup, wrestling figures, and Barbies. So like,
Wrestling figures.
I remember setting up the Star Wars, man. I had it like nice. So that's Rob, you're in the boys section tonight, or the girls. So it was. I swear to God, I feel like people would come in there like go to baseball bat, like looking for a certain figure. And within seconds, and if you see a family come in, forget it.
It's over.
By the time you walk around the corner, it's done.
Done.
So one time I was doing the Barbies, so I'm taking Barbies out of a cardboard box, cut it open. I'm putting all the crap on the shelf. I got it nice. So I come back like 2 minutes later. There's a mess and there's like drops of blood on the floor.
Oh
Like
my
drops,
God.
like one at a time. I'm like, these bastards have the nerve to mess up my aisle and they're gonna bleed on it. So I'm like, what the frick? So I follow the blood. I swear to God, it goes into the next aisle.
My God.
It drops the blood. It goes into the next aisle around.
Rob gets like the detective kit from one of the aisles.
Is someone like on the floor, like leaning back,
I know, like,
holding their
someone
side?
have a fight in the aisle, two moms again, know about. You know what I mean? So I come around back to the aisle and I like make a complete circle. So I look down and it's me.
Oh,
I'm actually bleeding. So I realized when I cut the box open, know those metal old school box cutters?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I sliced the box. It went into my knee. I didn't realize it. The blood, I swear to God, was coming down my pant leg.
Jesus.
All the way around the aisle. So I go into the bathroom. Actually, it's a pretty good cut. I probably needed a stitch or two. I never did. I still have the scar there. It still gets itchy when it's going to rain. But I always remember that because I remember the anger. I'm like, it was me, all down like my leg into my shoe on the floor.
He gets PTSD every time it rains. He feels it.
Yeah,
He's like, Black Friday.
Star Wars toys.
That, you know what I miss too about like stuff like that is like the low key, like especially Toys R Us, like having fun.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And like goofing around. Like you said before, PJ, if you didn't have an item in stock, I would just walk to the back, talk to a friend or two. Before I worked in the storeroom, eventually I worked in there too, and like come out the other door.
Yeah.
But I remember I wish my friend Nick was here to tell this story, but like, we used to goof around all the time in the back, and like you said, we didn't have machines going up and down. Like, because eventually actually I worked at Fortune Off for a time, and they had like real high-lows and like forklifts. Anyway, we were unloading the truck one day, and he was inside the truck, and he was putting all the boxes like on a belt or whatever, and he's sending them to me, and I'm organizing the boxes or whatever. So I had to go in there to tell him like whatever unload next. But I was doing like silent but deadlies all night long in the storeroom. You know what I mean? Everyone was just like cutting it up like all night. You know what I mean? So he doesn't notice because he's inside the truck.
Right.
So I go in there, I rip. It was the most amazing rip. And like I leave, and like 2 seconds later, this guy comes running out of the truck. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? But I just love that. It was a great moment. You know what I mean? But I can't do it now. You know, I'm a teacher now. You know what I mean? I can't be doing that. You know, so the goofing around is at a different. Yeah.
You could just make sure they don't know
but
it's
you can't goof around the same. So I miss that kind of like, life with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, jumping up and down like I was in the.
And what about this? When you guys worked at Target or whatnot, did you have to do like reshop, like all the items?
Oh yeah.
And that was only at the end of the night. It was like complete torture. Like where you know. It's worse, but I remember that.
That reshop.
That was just.
I hated doing it.
Yeah.
And you're just like, why did they pick all this shit up?
Yeah, just throw it in a garbage can.
Yeah, like, what are we doing?
Right.
Well, like I go shopping for an item. I'm like, all right, I need to buy this. I put in the. These people just like are throwing shit in carts and leaving it places, and then it's like, what was your purpose in coming to this establishment today?
Yeah.
Was it to buy anything or just fuck with me? Because sometimes it feels personal.
Yeah.
True.
You'd be like all those shopping carts, like walk by the returns
the
and everything.
Sports, the this, the that, the
we used to get like food a lot. Like people like last minute, I don't want this cake. You know, be like happy birthday, Jim.
You're throwing it all away because it's all food and it's supposed to be in the freezer.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think anyone's buying the steak that has been defrosting in the toy department for the last 7 hours. I think we might want to get rid of this one.
Yeah, true. Yeah, man. No, worst.
There's actually one other thing, so I should have brought my notes. When I was younger, for about 4 or 5 years, I used to put up decorations for like commercial and residential people, and that was always like an interesting thing because you either had like the really happy, everything is beautiful no matter what you did, and then you had the people like you put everything up and like, do they have to be green and red? Don't you have any like blue? And it's like you just like the whole time they're sitting there watching you, and a lot of times we were doing this into the night, so you can see the lights clearly,
right?
And it's just like now we gotta like take the lights down, put different lights up, and stuff like that.
Lord.
And that was always it was always, you never knew. And we did this one like residence, which imagine like even having the money where you're just like, I don't even want to put Christmas tree up. I'm gonna pay these people to do it.
That's amazing.
And they had this huge, couldn't even tell you how big it was, Christmas tree in their living room. And when I first got there, it was like me, my cousin was doing it with me, and I think like either the mother or just the father was there. And then like now I'm like so we're on a ladder and I'm like in the Christmas tree. I'm connecting it. I'm connecting the lights. This is before trees were pre-lit, so we're going in there.
You have to,
weaving, weaving it out.
Yeah.
I'm not facing anything. And then by the time I popped my head out, and I was probably in there for at least a half hour, like between going from one side to the next, so I don't really know what's going on in the room. I come out and I'm in like, and I just did their outside lights and it was freezing, so I'm like, I don't know what I look like. And I come out, I look over, and this guy has like, the whole family's there with like 3 beautiful daughters.
Right.
And I'm just like sitting there like, hey, like out of nowhere, everyone's like watching us put up this Christmas tree, and thank God they loved it, because I'm like, imagine after doing all of that, they're like, no,
do it over.
I don't like the way you put we had to, because they did the ornaments, but we had to put the star up because the star was so high, so they had us put the star up, and then
people got money.
and we and we did there was one person who didn't want us in the store, but like we couldn't leave until he approved the store, and it was freezing, and we would have to sit there in the freezing cold because he didn't want us in the store. And I'm not gonna name, I think the store still exists, and I don't want to bash anyone, but like, and we have to sit there freezing, and
fucking Macy's,
and it's actually Peter Andrews. I think they're still around, right?
I don't know.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, no.
That's too fancy for my
It's like high end shit.
So we would sit there in the freezing cold while he inspected everything, and we would be out there and like just like, hey, mind if we wait in here? Like, no, like at one point, like one of his stores, we were able to like hang out. They had a little lobby. We hung out in the lobby, but and then one funny thing, which could have been a huge disaster, was we were all the way on top of a building, putting all the lights up. I went to go grab the staple gun, and I hit it. It went off the roof.
No.
And all of a sudden, you just see it. You see one person coming, and the staple gun landed right in front of them.
Wow.
And I was just like,
killed that person.
And at the time, people were a little less dramatic back then.
Yeah.
You know, now forget about it. There would have been
right.
phone cameras
They
out
would've
and
dropped to the
everything.
floor, probably.
Yeah. They, you know, he kind of looked at me. He laughed. He's like, I'm like, so sorry. He's like, nah, all good. And he walked away. My cousin looked at each other like, that could have been so bad, like so bad. But that was always an interesting thing because you never know. It's how people are during the holidays. They're either oh, this is great, everything looks great, or they're so Scrooge. Like it's ridiculous. And I get it. Like you're spending money for something, but like everyone's.
But like also, then you could have just decorated yourself.
Yeah,
if
that's
you had
amazing.
a vision in your head that you wanted, then just do it.
True. Or draw it out. Let me know.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Blueprint.
Something.
That's
Yeah.
unbelievable. And you just remind me of a quick story. So like you walked in, you came out of that tree, and you see these three, beautiful girls. I just remember it wasn't. I don't know if it was during Christmas time. I can't remember. But in Kmart, I worked in houseware, so it was also included furniture. I was just doing a lot of carrots, just make a lot of quick cash tips. So I remember I used to ask my friend Mike in pantry, like to help me bring things out. My nickname in Kmart was Big Mike. I'm very short. So they'd be like, "Oh, Big Mike's got you." I used to putting things on people's car. Anyway, this hear me out for a second. So this one woman came in, and look, she wasn't the most attractive woman. She was, not like out of shape, ugly. You know what I mean?
Oh God.
So I know I'm being mean. But, so I'm like, "Oh, Mike, can you help me out with this? Like, it was like a couch, like a futon. So."
Right.
Lots of times people they get like a really big piece of furniture, but they get a small car. One time someone picked up a patio table, they had a convertible. Actually put it in the back seat. Anyway, so she actually pulls up in this like nice long Bronco. I'm like, oh. So Mike, my friend Mike, he used to always have a line when someone had like a really big car, we put furniture in, he goes, "Oh, this is beautiful." Right? So like they pull up, and we didn't see what she looked like yet. Her daughter's sitting shotgun, right? So they pull up. So me and Mike are pushing this thing into like through the trunk, like sliding it in. This girl turns around. It was like a beautiful angel. She was gorgeous. And Mike just goes, "This is beautiful."
Nice.
It was so obvious, but it was like day and night, man. It was really like one of those things where, mom actually maybe she had great genes apparently, and dad, and they made this
They
beautiful
skipped her and went to
creature.
the daughter. Again,
Right. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, tie downs were tough.
Oh,
I did that too.
yeah. I used to use shrink wrap. I used to use shrink
I'm
wrap.
fortunate enough I did that.
Yeah.
I tied down real quickly a picnic table on someone. I spent forever doing this. I'm like, this is like a brick. But then people would give you kind of like $1. I remember going, get yourself a cup of coffee.
Yeah, that was always
I
a
just
line.
spent like 20 minutes tying it down on an expensive table, but yeah.
Thanks for the coffee.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, here you go, boss. I'm like,
There are
oh,
so
Yeah,
many
like,
people
oh,
that
here you go,
bought
sport.
shit
Yeah.
I did a lot of the carryouts with Will and in BJ's. But and he would do all the tying because he was better at it than me. There are plenty of times where I had to do the tying, and I am not sure that these people made it down Hempstead Turnpike without losing all the shit they bought. I don't know how to tie a knot. I'm like, looks like it looks safe to me. It wasn't safe.
I always love when people who are very adamant when they don't want you touching their car, putting it on their car. We give them rope, right?
Yeah.
And then they would ask for more rope because they end up tying the doors closed.
Yeah.
Should have left us to the pros.
Yeah. Dude, at Fortune they actually had to be signed off on it.
Really?
Because I did tie downs at Toys R Us. I went to Fortune they had to watch you do it and they had to sign off that you were like good enough for it. Yeah.
Whoa.
Like,
Pretty good.
Anyways,
Yeah. So I think this is where PJ is going to unveil his. The official title is PJ's Mystery Holiday Surprise segment. So
We are going to determine today who is the 2024 Cool Kids King of Christmas.
wow.
So we have
The King of Kings.
The King of Kings. We have a 3-round, we'll call it a tournament,
Okay.
to determine who is the King of Christmas this year.
Okay.
okay.
Whoever has the highest combined score, whoever the two people have the highest combined score, at the end of the first 2 rounds, will then go to the 3rd round to battle head to head to determine who wins this.
So it's like a tournament style.
Like a tournament
so is
style.
this trivia, PJ?
Man.
Oh, there's 3 rounds. Each round is different.
Different. Okay.
In
feel like
front
we're
of
gonna
you, you
bomb
will
this.
see.
Yeah.
In front of you, you're going to see some
Trivia
jingle
battles.
bells. When I ask the question, whoever rings their bell first is who's going to get to answer.
Okay.
So we don't. We have jingle bells.
Right. So just so that folks at home, that's the
Right.
bell.
It's a little jingle bell.
actually
That's
nice
the jingle bell.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah. So round 1 is called Naughty or Nice.
Oh. Okay.
What I did is I went on to ranker.com and I looked at a list of the worst Christmas movies and the best Christmas movies.
All right.
I am going to name a movie. You have to tell me if according to ranker.com it is one of the best or
one
the
of
worst. So is it naughty or is it nice?
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to get my pen ready and I'm going to do some mathematics as we go along here. Naughty or nice? Movie number 1, Fred Claus. Alex.
Naughty.
Wrong.
Nice. Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, you really can't get it the second time,
Okay,
but
yeah.
because once you know,
I'll take
Fred
it.
Claus, who's in that? I'm trying to think.
That's the one with.
Fred
I
Claus.
think Fred Claus is the one I
Martin
believe was.
Short?
No, it's
Not Martin Short. It's
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
Oh,
I actually
okay.
never saw it.
Yeah,
Movie
me
is
too.
fucking random.
Movie's
Yeah.
awful.
All right.
Movie's so bad. I just recently
Yeah.
watched it with my family. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
This
Right.
is definitely naughty.
Yeah.
I never saw it.
Jingle All the Way.
Damn it.
Uncle Rob.
Oh. Nice.
No.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
I actually like that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I read something recently that
Oh, that's wrong.
it has this cult following that people love it, but when it came out, it was a
Yeah.
horribly
It's a
ranked
flop.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Damn.
Little Drummer Boy. Uncle Rob.
Nice.
Correct.
All right.
I play drums, so I went with that.
Very good. All right. Ernest Saves Christmas. Mike.
Naughty.
That's
Really?
wrong.
I feel like that
Wow.
movie gets
Yeah.
like shit on for
I
some
might have saw
reason.
it
Yeah.
just one time.
Like yeah.
All right. Jack Frost. Alex.
I'm gonna be wrong, but I'm gonna say nice.
That is wrong.
That is wrong.
Yeah.
Even though it
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
I
Michael
would have said
Keaton.
naughty on that because I didn't.
I think it did relatively well, but I think it. Yeah.
All right.
I'm thinking ranked.
Wait, who
I
was
gotta
that?
remember
Michael
ranked.
Keaton.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the
actually,
Michael
no, that
Keaton
was
movie.
good.
Yeah.
Wait, that was naughty and nice.
Oh my
That was
god! I'm
considered
thinking
bad.
of a completely different
Yeah.
movie.
There is another Jack Frost that's like a
No, I
horror.
think I was thinking what you were thinking.
Yeah.
The-
No, this is the
the
Michael
animated
Keaton
one?
movie.
I'm assuming that was that's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
like
was thinking
boring
of.
as
That was a trick
yeah.
question, maybe.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the wrong movie. Fair enough.
Christmas with the Cranks. Mike.
Nice.
No.
Oh, my god. This is like 50-50.
Yeah.
I feel like these
Yeah.
movies are like they do. I guess they all have like a cult status.
Yeah, I guess.
the critics don't like them.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Uncle Rob.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Okay, I was gonna say hopefully. Thank
Okay.
please make that be a nice one.
All
I'd give
right.
up if that was.
Let's see what we have here. Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July.
I know.
Naughty.
That's right.
All right.
Nice. You ever see it?
No, it sounds
Oh,
bad.
damn it, nice
In
one.
July?
That was a good sneak.
Yeah. All right. There are 2 movies left. Bad Santa. Uncle Rob.
Nice.
No.
I thought it did well.
That's what I thought. Wow.
This is according to
God.
ranker.com. And then the final movie on this list, Prancer. Alex.
I just want to try to get a point. I'm just gonna say nice.
You got it.
Yeah.
Oh, all
That was
right.
like a nice little child.
All right.
Yeah.
The last minute.
All
All
right.
right. Get one.
Damn.
So
That was a cool movie, though.
the
It's
end of
cute.
round 1. Let's see here. Alex has 1 point. Uncle Rob has 2 points. Mike has 1 point.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Okay. Round 2. Round 2 has more rules to it.
Okay.
Oh no.
You may have seen once or twice on TV a little game show called Don't Forget the Lyrics.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So this is Don't Forget the Christmas Lyrics.
right. So they just finished like fill in the blank kind of thing.
However, there's 5 questions. Each are worth 2 points. If you don't sing the lyric, you get no points.
Oh, okay.
You have to sing them.
Okay.
If nobody can get it, I will give you the lyrics, and you each have to sing it. And whoever I determine sings it the best gets 1 point.
Ah.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Oh god.
So-
I'm terrible at lyrics too.
Yeah,
I
you're
know.
gonna
Me
have
too.
to-
I
I'm
know, I
gonna
am
make
the
it up.
worst.
Hopefully, it's like the
Songs
most
I don't
common
know
line
lyrics.
in it.
They're not the hardest. They're not the
Okay.
hardest. I am not going to sing because I don't want to like lead you into it and then you might get it.
Yeah.
Or you
Right.
have to
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
So, number 1. You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch. You have termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness. Fill in the blank.
I don't. I know.
I don't know this one.
Oh, a salamander? Isn't it something like that?
It is
Ooh,
not.
good-
That's-
that was a good try.
That was a
though.
good try. Anybody else want to give it a shot?
I did.
Or am I giving you the words and you are all singing?
Do you read these things one time? Like
I can read it to you again.
one
You
more
want me to read
time?
it again?
I don't want
Yeah.
to drink it.
Yeah, no, I can read. You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch. You have termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness.
I don't know. I keep thinking about the
know.
lines from it, but it has
I'm
nothing.
trying to-
That does not relate to that. Like arsenic sauce, it's not that. You know what I mean? Like toadstool sandwich, all that stuff. At the
Yeah.
end. Like I don't know.
I wouldn't touch a 37.5-foot pole.
Yeah.
No. Damn.
All right. So that means you all have to sing this. You're gonna have to sing the
Oh,
entire
God.
thing, and I'll pick who sings it the best. The line is, "You have all the tender sweetness
Something.
of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch." So, Mr. Alex, you have to sing it first, the whole thing, starting from your Revile one, Mr. Grinch.
Oh, I know nothing about these lyrics.
Well, you can't.
Yeah, I'm gonna need the notes too.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
really know
So you
Jingle
can
Bells.
just sing the. You could just. I'll read it, and then you guys
Okay.
just have to sing the last line.
Well,
all right.
yeah.
And what's the last line again?
Yeah.
Of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch.
A seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch.
Got it?
Okay.
All right, Mr. Alex, you're first. You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch. You have termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness
I don't even know the
of a
song.
seasick crocodile.
I know, of
Mr.
the
Grinch.
seasick crocodile. I'm trying to like get into the of a seasick crocodile. What's the other
Mr. Grinch.
one? Mr. Grinch.
Yeah.
Uncle Rob?
Of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch.
He got me on that.
Mike?
A seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch.
I think I'm going to give it to Uncle Rob.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll give it to
right.
Uncle
Uncle
Rob.
Rob.
Uncle Rob.
Wow.
All right.
That was.
This is a good one. This is my favorite one. I can't wait for you guys to sing it. Because I just want you here tonight, holding on to me so tight. What can I do?
All I want for Christmas is you.
That's it.
Yeah.
You didn't
Wow.
ring in, but I'm going to give it to you anyway.
Yeah.
Mike gets that
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
I didn't realize we were still doing the bell.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. That's
That's
fine.
Mariah
Oh, yeah,
Carey,
the
right?
bell, the
That's
bell.
Mariah
Actually, I
Carey.
hate that song.
Me
I
too,
know
but I
you
want one
said
of you guys to sing it.
Damn, and I kind of still like it, kind of.
I'm burnt out with it,
Reminded.
man.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Nice.
So that's
Right there.
that's a 2-pointer then.
Oh, that's right.
That's
Wow.
a 2-pointer.
2 points. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Damn,
Yeah. All right. Number 3. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Round yon virgin, mother and child. You guys don't listen to any Christmas music.
I need.
I don't-
I've noticed that the way
Yeah,
obviously you're reading it without the
Perfect.
melody.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Maybe one more time. You gotta read it one more time.
Silent night,
Silent night.
holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Round yon virgin, mother and child. Ooh.
Oh, I heard the melody.
Uncle Rob?
It's not gonna be the whole thing.
Okay.
Sleep in heavenly.
Oh, you're
something.
so close.
I think that's
You're
the
close.
line after.
That's the line after.
Oh, right.
That's the line
That's good,
after.
though.
So
Oh,
the
yeah, I came to help
line.
you guys out. Maybe you can use that to help. you
Anybody?
out.
Anybody want to ring in? All right. Otherwise,
like-
you guys are all
Damn.
singing
It's
again.
like holy infancy or some shit. I don't know what
You're
it is.
so close. You guys are so close.
I'm on the. That's all I thought of too. I'm like, there's more to it. I don't know.
It's holy infant, so
Oh.
tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace.
Ah.
All right, guys. Good.
Holy infant.
So tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace. I'm gonna read it, and
Yeah,
then
I'm
you
not-
guys are gonna sing
I'm not gonna be
it.
able to
God.
memorize it that quickly.
Yeah.
I have to read
Just
it.
remember, holy infant, so tender and mild.
How about that?
Holy infant, tender and mild. Okay.
Got it?
Is it?
Is it? I don't even know.
All right.
I don't remember how the theme is.
All right,
Okay.
Alex, you're singing first again. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Round yon virgin, mother and child.
I already forgot the lyric.
Holy infant, so tender and mild.
Holy infant, tender and mild.
The
Yeah.
line is what again? Holy.
Holy infant, so tender and mild.
Holy infant, so tender and mild. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, mild got me too. I don't know why I drew blank on mine.
I don't. Some mild seems so
Yeah.
mild.
I know.
This song's not my vibe.
Yeah.
To sing.
I think I've just about the line. Like, holy infant, tender and mild.
I think I'm going to give this one to Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was very
so-
charming. That was
Yeah,
very
Thank you.
charming.
Thank you.
You had that.
Very
one. That was
angelic.
That was your tone.
Yeah. The tone of it. That's what it was.
Oh god.
Okay. This is an easy one. There must have been some magic in that old silk hat they found.
So when they placed it on his head, he began to dance around.
Yes.
Nice.
I'll give it to you. That's times 2 for Uncle Rob. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Last one, and then I do some math, and we get to the final round. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and in case you didn't hear, oh by golly, Alex.
Have a holly jolly Christmas this year.
Oh,
Alex, coming in
Nailed it.
strong.
Oh, man, coming
That
in
handsome
hot.
devil.
Coming
Wow.
in.
Handsome devil
That
right
was an easy
here.
one. I just
All right, let me
only Christmas song I know.
let me do some mathematics real
He
quick.
does shows with only his hat on, everybody.
So that means altogether, Alex has 4 points. Uncle Rob has, hold on, 2, 3, 4, 5 points for Uncle Rob.
Killing it.
So that means Mr. Mike has to get more than 3 points in this round. Let me see what he got. He got 2 points. You only got the 2 on that one.
Oh no.
That gives you 3. So the final round comes down to Uncle Rob and Alex.
Wow.
Our
Very
two
fitting.
guests.
Our 2 guests.
Our
Very
2
fitting.
guests.
Good.
Very, very fitting.
Wow.
Very fitting.
Yes, I'll help with commentary.
Okay. This is just straight up trivia. The scores from the first 2 rounds are wiped clean. It's just whoever wins this round.
Hold on, he helps.
Yes, you want to keep some score on
Yeah,
this one?
okay.
Perfect. Each is worth 1 point.
Gotcha.
Sorry, what is it again?
Just regular trivia.
Regular,
regular
Christmas, is it, I'm
trivia.
assuming it's
Okay.
Christmas trivia? Mr.
Christmas
Pete?
trivia, yes. Christmas trivia. Have to ring in to get to be able to answer. Hands on buzzers. How many ghosts show up in A Christmas Carol? Uncle Rob.
3.
That is wrong.
It's 4.
That's right.
Oh my God.
You're thinking of Marley.
I
Yeah.
Yeah, Marley.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Look at that. What country started the tradition of putting up Christmas trees? Uncle Rob.
Norway?
No,
No.
but not too far off.
That was my guess too.
But you might as well throw a country out there.
Here's your chance to steal. No, it's not that.
Swedish.
It is not
No,
Sweden.
it's a
I know
German.
it's wrong.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all.
Yeah,
I wanted
it's
to give you a
yeah,
hint. It's Germany. Otherwise, I was going to say it's a European country, but I said
yeah.
Germany instead.
Yeah, all right, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
How many total gifts are given in the 12 Days of Christmas song? Alex,
13.
that is incorrect.
12.
That's also incorrect.
Oh no, I know this.
You got to, yeah.
I will give you each one more chance to guess. Got to ring in.
You can use your phones as a calculator.
If you want, we can allow that. But
That could be a lot of arithmetic.
Oh, you're talking about
the whole
Yeah.
shebang.
Oh my god.
I will give you a hint. It's way easier than you think.
Really? Can we just guess a number?
Yeah, just guess a number.
52.
No, Alex, just throw a number out.
62.
364.
Wow. Because I guess the first day of Christmas, 2,
Yeah.
5, 6.
Because they
Yeah.
keep giving each time.
Yeah.
Okay,
On the
okay.
third day of
Oh,
Christmas,
God.
they give you this and 2 and 1.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't
Oh,
even
man.
thinking of that.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Alex
I'm
is
just
still in the
thinking
lead by 1
1
point.
point. I think this is an easy one, though. Of Santa's reindeer, 3 of them have a name that start with a D. Name those reindeer. Uncle Rob.
Oh man, Donner,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Dancer.
Yep.
Oh shit.
This is great. Alex only needs to get the one
I know
then
that's
to
why I
steal.
want to
If
ring.
you don't
That's
get
why I want to
it,
ring.
if
Strategy
you don't
now.
get it, Alex can steal by just
Oh,
getting
yeah,
one.
do it in
I
your head.
know.
It's very intense in the room right now. Uncle Rob has his hands in his face in his hands.
All the creatures are stirring.
I know. Hold on.
Alex looks nervous because he knows it's coming to him next. He knows he only has one reindeer he has to name. So far, the reindeers that have been named are Dancer and Donner. There's one more reindeer.
Oh my god.
Uncle Rob.
I can't.
Who was that reindeer?
I'm trying to see someone head now. My head's like racing.
All right, Uncle Rob is out of
Yeah,
time.
I'm out.
Mr. Alex. Handsome Alex.
Dixon?
It is not Dixon. That might be a reindeer he's friends with. I don't know.
I don't know. I took a guess.
But his the Dasher.
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 Oh my god.
Wow.
That's pathetic.
That
I thought you were going to
That's
get it
pathetic.
because
I could. I was
Alright.
trying to run. I totally.
that's okay.
I was thinking of like a female's name again. I was
Yeah.
thinking.
I had no clue. That was just a
I should have
random
got
guess.
that. Wow. Oof.
All right. Question 5.
It's being on the spot. That's what it is.
This
So many people listening pissed off at us
You're
right now.
probably-
Like, how do
Oh,
you
yeah.
not know this?
This is an easy one. I think this is just going to be a race to who rings the bell. What did Hermie the elf want to be?
Dentist.
That's correct.
Yes,
Uncle
all right, we have
Rob.
a tie score.
All right, we're going on. That was first half, second half. 5
Oh,
questions
God.
left.
5 questions left.
This is going to be another one that is just a race to the bell.
Mm.
What
even
was
know
the
last
first company to use Santa Claus in advertising? Alex.
Coca-Cola?
That's correct.
Yep.
Oof, nice.
That's
I
correct.
wouldn't have got that. I wasn't thinking that.
What gifts did the 3 wise men / 3 kings, because depending on where you look,
Yeah,
they call
yeah.
them the 2 different things. What gifts did they bring baby Jesus? Years ago, back in...
I know.
gift
I know.
cards.
And like,
gift card. Uncle Rob? St. Bernard's Church
I know.
is
That's
very
what I'm trying to
upset
go
with
back.
you right
I
now.
have a bread. I do a brain
We
dump.
sat in
How
St.
upset
Bernard's
is that?
Santa's
Church.
going to be pissed.
I
Yeah.
know. Bread.
Maybe.
What is it?
Bread?
Bread.
It is not bread. Monsignor Graham right now
I
is
know.
rolling over
Dude,
in his
this is
grave.
I can't even.
Shout out to
I think
Monsignor
How
I'm-
Graham.
about whoever gets the most gifts right? If they
Okay.
can't get all 3. So. Alex?
Alex, anything?
You know
Ninja,
these?
Ninja Turtles.
You did
No,
not
I,
get any.
I want to say
It's not a
without
Furby?
one of
It
them.
wasn't a Furby.
I know
No.
all 3 of them.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
knew them before.
Is one of them like
I'm gonna-
money or jewels or some shit?
No.
Close.
Like,
It is gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
I should have
I-
got the gold. The other
yeah.
one.
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Damn man.
Okay.
Embarrassment.
All right.
Here we go.
Alex still up by. Oh no, yeah, he's still up by 1.
Yeah, Alex is up by
Oh,
1.
2 to
shit,
1.
Dude, you're gonna...
In what year did Rudolph join Santa's team of reindeer?
Oof.
Like in the song, you mean? Or
Well, like when did Rudolph get invented? Essentially,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alex.
Random guess. It's probably 100% wrong. 1963.
No, that is wrong.
And then nothing.
Uncle
I
Rob,
just wanted to do 1941.
you are so close. It was
36?
1939.
Oh,
wow. I
so
wasn't told
close.
it went back that far.
Ah.
1939, by the way, the same year that we were introduced to the character of Batman.
Oh.
And as it turns out, Jingle Bells, Batman spells.
Wow. Nice fun.
Question number 9. Which Christmas movie inspired the TV show The Wonder Years?
Christmas Story?
That's correct.
Wow.
Good one.
So where's
Damn,
the
I
score?
love that show.
It's 3 to 1.
Yeah.
3 to 1. So there's only one question left. So technically, Alex gets this win.
But we'll do it anyway.
But we're gonna do it anyway.
For the sake of sport.
Yeah. What is the best-selling Christmas single of all time?
Okay.
I know it.
I also
Really?
know it
Yeah.
because I'm looking at the answer. The best-selling Christmas single
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
of all time.
Is it the Mariah Carey song?
It is not.
Okay. I think it's like one I actually like. Oh, wait a minute. Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
That is also not right.
Damn.
Is it White Christmas?
It is White Christmas.
Yeah, Bing Crosby, yeah.
Yeah. Had you made it to the trivia round, you would have
Yeah,
swept the
killed it, yeah.
competition. If Alex did not pull out the best rendition of what song was it that you
Holy
sang?
Night.
Oh, Holy
Night.
Oh, it's Silent Night.
Si-
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Silent Night, yeah.
And Holly Jolly Christmas was another good one too. If you didn't pull out the best version of Holly Jolly Christmas that I'd ever heard, this could have been a different game. But here comes handsome Alex.
Congratulations.
Coming out. Nice
Oh,
job, dude.
thank you.
Yeah.
Pull it out.
I'll
Yeah.
give you guys a question. And this is just like, we'll call it the Rudolph Award.
Okay.
Rudolph
Okay.
Award, okay? Which Christmas song actually started out as a Thanksgiving song?
Ooh, I don't know the name of the song. I think I know the song. I don't know the name of it. Is it Jingle Bells?
Yes!
Yeah.
Jingle Bells started off as a Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
like,
Really?
Yeah.
jingle. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I could see that.
that's
Yeah.
sudden.
Now that I'm like
Yeah,
doing
I
the
like
lyrics in
thinking
my
of
head, I'm like, yeah. I
At
can see
first,
that.
I was thinking it's the song where maybe we'll eat some fucking pie or whatever. It's,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this one didn't really incorporate something.
But then I remembered
Yeah,
it was
but-
Jingle Bells. Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm. Well
Okay.
done, folks. So, guys, I mean, what a tremendous battle in this blizzard.
I never knew how little I knew about Christmas until
yeah,
today.
you guys, do you guys even like the holidays? Bunch of Grinches over here.
know.
Oh, man.
God,
Really more. They're just more into the toys, PJ.
Yeah.
They're into
That's
the
why
commercial
the toys,
aspect
man.
and not
The
Yeah.
moment you said the three wise men, I'm like,
That was
not getting
bad.
this one.
Yeah.
Not getting this one.
I knew I wasn't gonna get all the rate of that.
Yeah.
I wasn't like I was like name the three wise men. I figured you guys would know some of these, you know. But yeah, I want to do a little game today. I wanted to have a little Christmas cheer.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
wanted there to be jingle bells.
Yeah.
And you guys knocked the singing out of the park. Couldn't have asked for more. I think we should do more games like this. I like it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Mhm. But yeah, we want to thank you guys for having you on this
thanks for having
holiday
us back.
special.
Of course, man. Great to be here.
And PJ wrote some things that you. Please, people, do not get this for PJ for Christmas. PJ says he does not want any pen holders, no mugs with candy in it, and no Christmas decorations as a present.
Do people give Christmas decorations?
Oh
as
yeah.
presents?
Oh yeah.
What is that even like? Here's a treat.
Yeah,
what
like,
do we-
yeah, like a wreath or like a knick-knack thing. Yeah.
I guess
Some
I
of
could
these
do an
ornaments.
ornament.
There's like
Yeah.
these
Not ornament's different. I feel like it's a little
Yeah.
different. You know.
I almost didn't get that Spider-Man ornament
I know
this
you were
year.
real upset.
But before we go, Rob and Alex, where can people, follow you or hear more about you? Anything you want to share?
Got something there?
My Instagram is currently inactive, so I don't want to share something that's.
Why
not
is your
active.
Instagram an
Yeah, you're an artist, man.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
I
come on.
started projects and never. I've been procrastinating. Let's just be honest. But once I get it going again, I'll let you guys know, and hopefully I come back and I'll be able to say follow me here.
Okay, but
I
you
was
can.
disappointed in October from you.
You know what? The
Not
last
one Inktober picture.
You know what it is? I actually to prepare for it, I drew out like 5 or 6 pictures, inked them and everything, and it got so busy with work, I just kept forgetting to post them, and then it was like, oh, okay, it's the last week of October, I'll post them, and I just never did.
Okay.
I'm sorry, man.
Well, let us
I'll
know.
post them next
Yeah, but
year.
let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just for folks at home, if you enjoyed Handsome Alex, check him out on our Godzilla -1 episode. It's a great episode, and Alex is like basically an expert in Godzilla. So if you're really interested in that shit, listen to that. He's fantastic in it. And Uncle Rob, where can folks hear more about you? And
For me, being at the Cool Kids, you can check out some episodes I'm on. How about that? You know what I mean? Spread the word. That'd be cool. And other than that, I don't even barely use Instagram, but I might now because this guy's going to show me some of his stuff. And, check out the band I have. I always talk about the band that we had, Mikey and I, tomorrowsfire.com. Give it a listen and spread the word.
yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks,
And-
guys.
Yeah, and also check out Rob on our. I think the last episode you were on with us, probably one of our most controversial was our Deadpool and Wolverine
Oh, yeah.
review. So
People
folks
did
at
not
home-
like our review.
Oh
of
yeah,
Deadpool.
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, especially the
You
comments
can
on
pick
TikTok.
on me if
so.
you watch that one.
So, but yeah, guys, thanks so much for listening. Have a Merry Christmas. Anything else, Mr. PJ? Santa PJ?
No, I got
Santa-
nothing left.
PJ Claus? All right.
PJ Claus has nothing left.
Yeah. Same time, same table.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Nice.
Boys and girls, lunchtime is over. For more information, visit their website at coolkidslunchtable.podbean.com. Follow the boys on all social media platforms. Just search Cool Kids Lunch Table Podcast. Now get to class before you get detention.